Assalamu alaikum everyone. So this is our last episode of the Ramadan series. I'm actually really going to miss talking about Ramadan in front of a camera. Um Today is about making the best out of Ramadan. That is today's topic. And first of all, I want to make a correction on my last video. Somebody actually reminded me about something I said when I spoke about witr prayer, and I said you could do your witr at any time of the night. The correction is, when you are behind an imam in mosque, it's best you do your witr prayer at that time. That's during Taraweeh. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever follows an imam from beginning to the end of Taraweeh, he gets the reward of a person who stood out, who prayed. You could actually do your witr at any time of the night, but when you are behind an imam during Taraweeh, it's best you do your witr at that period, because you are getting reward. Instead of you to cut off Shafi and witr and say, no, I'm going to do tahajjud later, so I'll do the witr later. No, it's best you do it then. Then when you do tahajjud, you don't need to do witr again, because as I said in the last video, you do witr only once in the night. So yeah. So moving into today's topic, it's about last 10 days of Ramadan, itikaf, and a lot of other things. Just ways for us to make the best out of the last part of Ramadan. The last 10 days of Ramadan are the best days of Ramadan. We need to increase our act of ibadah, our prayer, our tahajjud, taraweehs, everything. We need to increase our recitation of Quran, because the last 10 days are the best. Most of us already know that. It's in the last 10 days that we find the Laylatul Qadr. The Prophet ﷺ said, seek in the last 10 days the odd nights. That is where Laylatul Qadr will fall on. Laylatul Qadr doesn't have a definite date. It doesn't have a particular date. It's just all one of the symptoms of Laylatul Qadr has been stated. So one of those odd nights might actually follow suit to those symptoms for you to know whether it's Laylatul Qadr or not. But then the best thing is for you to pray on every is when is mostly done during the last 10 days of Ramadan, is when you stay in the mosque devoting yourself to act of ibadah. You don't do any other worldly thing for that period. All you do is worship Allah. You sleep, you wake up, you eat, you worship Allah, and that's it. You don't visit the sick, you don't go for funerals, you don't do anything, you don't touch your wife. Yes. So in itikaf, during itikaf, you don't cut your nails, you don't cut your hair. There are a lot of rules and regulations about it. If you want to perform itikaf, it would be the best if you could really go and read on it. You should know the rules and regulations, so you actually know what you are doing. You take your niyyah, and then that itikaf can actually be done at any part of the year. But it is sunnah mu'akkada, something done by the Prophet. Performed itikaf at the last 10 days of Ramadan. His wife, Aisha radiallahu anha, confirmed it, and she said the last 10 days of Ramadan are these that the Prophet is more consistent with his ibadah. It's not like he's not consistent on other days. We all know the story of the Prophet, but then on the last 10 days he triples his efforts on his ibadah. Yeah. A hadith narrated that when Aisha radiallahu anha asked the Prophet what is best, what dua is best to keep repeating on Laylatul Qadr, the Prophet said, Allahuma innaka afoon tuhibbul afwa fa'afu adda. O Allah, indeed you are pardoning and generous. You love to pardon, so please pardon us. Allahumma innaka afoon tuhibbul afwa fa'afu anna. So during the last 10 days of Ramadan, the odd days, or the whole last 10 days of Ramadan, you keep repeating this particular dua. In conclusion, remember that you were chosen to be here, and many people wanted to be here and they are not. This is an opportunity you should not waste. This Ramadan is for you. You should not ruin it. Don't let anyone ruin it for you, including yourself. Try your best. Make the best out of the Ramadan. Make the best out of the last 10 days. You were chosen to be here for this Ramadan. This is actually an opportunity we might not get again, because we don't know when our life is yeah. So let's make the best out of it. Brothers and sisters, I'm urging you to not sleep throughout the nights of the last 10 days. قُمِ اللَّيْلَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. Stand through the nights except for some part of it. Somehow, I feel like Ramadan is running away, as in the days are just so fast and I can't even believe it. It's already the last 10 days, guys. I'm really going to miss Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum.
يوما كنت تعانق دمعة الفكر